yesterday, I am not going to go back to the homework right now, but today at 4 p.m. I will be in the office hours, just like Sarah did. So I will be there, but I would love that if there are some common doubts, so instead of having an individual resolving doubts, it would be very nice if some of you share doubts, to share it once and to share it like in group, so we can talk or something. And for this, I set up a collaborative notepad, so that anyone that has any question can put it there, but also other people can see which are the questions, if you have common things. And if somebody has a doubt that another person can respond, it's also cool, because maybe it's not even something that you need to come to me, but you can solve between, like, talking between you. I was wondering how has it been, like, this is why I don't have a mask today. I'm going to be talking a lot. So one thing that happens when we talk about R in comparison to other programming languages is that in other programming languages, you tend to do everything from scratch, while R has an ecosystem of people who are preparing the packages and are doing some of the code that you will use in your research. So we have this decision between coding everything from scratch, which is good because you learn how to code, you learn how to program, or you learn how to use other people's work who are published in papers and that is code that has been reviewed by other people. So we are always like this. So the first 2 days I was here, I was showing you the structure that already exists for spatial. We wouldn't code from scratch anything of relating to spatial. But when we talk about biological diversity and when we talk about the information that we take in the field, for example, if you have the community matrix with sites and plots, even if R has ways to calculate diversity, it's a good way to practice how you code things sometimes, because it's not too hard, and it helps you have a notion of how are you understanding things, how are you dealing with problems, how is your way of thinking about code. So today I am going to do only some very simple exercises, but part of the objective is some of you do not work with R, some of you do not work at all in programming, or are just starting. So we have a very mixed, some of you are biologists, some of you are not. So at least the pseudocode, so the verbal model of how to solve a problem doing code, is something that everyone should be able to do, and to have clearly the steps that you need. If I make a question, like, what would you need to do in the data? And the actual part of the code of how you deal with this can change, or you can solve it later, or it happens a lot. There are many ways to go to the same result. So we are going to come back to the community matrix that Sarah, the CESTES data set that is already in your repo. And I set up, I will let you know, I have this. Okay, so basically, and I think you already saw this figure, when we talk about communities in ecology and the field data that we take, we can think as multivariate data. The responses are matrices of several species and several sites. You have sites that are described by species, either the presence or the abundance of species. But you also have other kinds of data, like the environmental variables that describe the sites, and the traits, the functional traits, some characteristics of the species that describe the species. So at the end, you deal with 4 types of matrix. You have a species, site per species, which is the community matrix, what they call, and this is the only table that we're going to deal with today. But you also have environmental sites, environmental traits, environmental variables, per site. You have species traits per species. And the fourth corner problem is something that in ecology we call to the fact that at the end you want to think about the traits that determine the presence of species along environmental gradients. So this is, sometimes we're dealing with fourth corner problems. At the end, the mechanism via which the species can be in some part of the environment is mediated by its traits. So, this is, we are going to deal today with the community matrix. And you already saw this, you already explored a little bit this database. And it has several tables. In last week or 2 weeks ago, you did some tweaking of these tables to put it together in a tidy table with everything in the same table. I am going to go back to the community matrix because this is our focus today. And we want to know, how do we start analyzing biodiversity when we have this kind of data? I would like to know who of you has already done this kind of thing? Okay. So sometimes I think it's like, it's going to be something that everybody already did. And when I see it's not something that everybody did. So I think you can comment, or anyone can comment, but we can, I see that this is something that you're not super used to, so it's nice. So we're going to have short exercises. I was telling you before, we're going to do some pseudocode. It's verbal models of what you would do when coding. Hopefully this pseudocode translates into code. And there's a link here, collaborative notes and answers here. So I would like to make, like, every answer and every comment that you have, I would like you to put it in the notepad so that you see other people's answers and other people's questions, and so I will be, maybe you saw already a HackMD notepad. I think Sarah showed you one. You can edit it by clicking on the pencil here. You can edit here, so please, if you see any typo, you can correct it, but also I already set up some spaces where you can complete. So I'm doing this also because we haven't met officially. I haven't talked with most of you after 1 week of class. So if you put your name, you put your country, you tell what you like, what you don't like about R, and what you find most difficult in doing this, it would be awesome. So I get to know you a little bit more. And your names also, I have spoke with a few of you. And everything that we do, I think we can, when I talk about groups, we can like work with the tables. You're already sitting in some kind of group. So I want you to think individually and to think about the code individually, but also compare with the table and see if it's okay. If there are only 2 of you, you can talk with the people around, or the 2 of you, it should be fine. So we're going to work a lot on the notepad. And at the end of the day, I was telling you that I will be here today at the end. So if you have any doubts, please add here any question or topic that you would like to talk during the week, either today or next week, so that we can see if we have patterns of doubts and and topics that you would like to make clear. Okay, so you will be writing here, and I will come back to I will put this notepad here in this so I can see you. Let me see. So, can anyone tell me what you understand when I talk about diversity? What does diversity in this context mean? Maybe if you have worked already with diversity, which kind of characteristics of data are we looking for? So I will just go here, for example. We are going to start here with the community matrix. You are going to read it, and just to remember you have 97 lines, 57 species. So in this context is 97 sites in 57 species. And when we start dealing with this kind of data, we want to know things like how many species are there in each site, and which are the species that are shared between sites. How many species are there in total? We know it because of the columns, so we know it's 57 in total, but not every plot has everything. And we have different abundances. These data are not binary. They show the abundance of every species in the data. So this is a 1, but it's a count. And I would like you to think, if I wanted to know this, which are the 5 most abundant species overall in the data set? How would you start? You have a table. How can you say which is the most abundant in the site? So some of you already have an answer, but I will give you 40 seconds or 50 seconds, and I want everybody to think, how can I know which is most abundant? When everybody is kind of, just tell me when you have something in mind. In mind. You can execute the code, and you can, yes, I will have no hurries. But this is the sort of thing that we want to happen. Which are the 5 most? Yeah. Let me just. So, anyone want to start and say what they would do? Via code, not via browsing and scrolling with the mouse, because you can browse with the mouse, but I don't want everybody to solve things via browsing the mouse. Yes, tell me, please. And your name, sorry. I will have to start doing this. Do you have a mic? Where's the mic? Where's the mic? Here, I have 2 mics here. I should wear a mask for doing this. So you have, go, start, okay.
Yeah. I think one way to do it at least would be to sum over the sites for each species, and then you order the resulting vector, and you take the first 5 elements, or however many you want.
Do you agree? Did you hear what he said? So we are just basically understanding the same. What he said, for those of you who didn't hear, is you sum along the margin that represents the abundance of the species. You order that vector, and you take the 5 first elements. This is basically, so this is pseudocode. What you have done is you have described 3 steps. Can you execute this? Can you tell me in, like, do it, please. Like, transform it into code. So I want somebody to answer this. You already know?
With the command in R.
With the?
With the command in R, that's 100%, like coding this?
Yes. So give me the answer about which species are they.
The most abundant species, it's the species 11, 16, 17, and 54.
Are we agreeing on this? I think we are.
But I would like to know if someone got the same result.
Yes, exactly. And I have here something similar to that. 11, 16, 17, 54, and which is the fifth? Which is the fifth? You gave me only 4. Did you give me 5? The fifth is?
Well, those are the species, but for example, species number 11 has 126 individuals.
Yes, that's okay. Yes, since the question was which are the species, that's okay. So sometimes, of course, you want to see, and this could be plotted. You could plot as a bar plot, which is the abundance and the decreasing abundance of the species. So this is kind of the starting point. How many species are there in each plot? How is the richness? How do you calculate the richness? Everybody's fine with this part? Everybody's... Okay. We can take a couple of minutes so you do this and you check. So I don't want to be like to go in a hurry, but yeah. And if you want to put an answer in the notepad, and if somebody found a different way to go to the same answer, please put it in the notepad. Because this is the part where we learn how people code. So please use the notepad and say like, this is me, I'm going to do this. I will be checking the notepad. So this. Should you add a library? If you have a way of solving this via library, it's okay. You should be able to do this via code, yeah. Yes, of course, when you know the libraries, you don't stop doing these kind of things. If you have any doubt, I'm here. You can call me. I am here. If you are done, you can help people around you. If you are done and everybody around you is done, you can go to the second part. Okay, to the second here in the screen. And I'm here. I will put my mask on. Você não tem post-its que a Sara trouxe? Como? Ah, Matheus está online também. Ele está me ouvindo? Matheus, você pode falar. Matheus, eu sei que você está online. Se precisar de qualquer coisa, só avisa no chat, tá?
Certo, obrigado.
E pode escrever no chat também, exato.
I have a question. What do you mean by plot do you mean by site? How
Site,
many
exactly.
species? Okay.
Site, yes.
Okay, thank you.
It's an artifact. So, if you don't know how to code it, think about it at least. Like, what should I do to have this answer if I knew how to code it?
Something very basic. I have this is a vector. I don't know what this is. I program in Python.
It's a vector,
It's a vector.
but
it's a data
sometimes
frame.
it's a named vector. It's so in general, vectors look like if you make C1234, it will only have the sequence of numbers or of elements. But vectors have this characteristic where they can be named. They can have names. So this is how a named vector looks like. So the actual. Yes, exactly. So it can have names, but and this is part of the inconsistencies that sometimes Bayes-R has. Like why sometimes it has an element and why not? But this is a named vector, a vector that has name. The actual data, if you make sum, if you execute a sum, it will sum only the data, of course.
The numbers.
Yes, exactly.
How do I print only the first part? That's the objective, right?
You have to index it, remembering that R is one index, not zero index. Exactly. Exactly, that's it. The only difference is that you don't start with zero, and you don't have this last column or next to last column. This does not exist. We only use numbers or things.
Like, I know Python. How can you do like a list with 97 zeros?
With 97 repetition.
I go,
It's function rep.
do like rep.
You can open there your parentheses.
Oh,
And you push a tab, make a tab. So it autocompletes. So X is what do you want to autocomplete? To complete, it's a zero. And there's a times, I think, rep. Wait. Look at the help. It has like a times. It has a times parameter. So you say, please repeat this 97 times. This kind of thing.
another question, like, common is mathematics.
It's a data frame, yeah.
How can we get like only the number of columns and the number of rows?
N row and N call. Yeah.
Okay.
So remember some of the basic functions to explore data frames. I will be there. N call or N calls, I never know. Is Mateus okay? It's N call.
Oh, okay, so you just need
I will be right with you. Tell me. I didn't hear you well. Like, tell me. I can. The second question is about. No, you have to answer. How you answer? Like, what are the steps for you to get the richness? So just to make clear that for the second one, the richness. So many of you found for the first exercise something that looked like a vector but had names. It was weird. It was not only the 126, only the numbers, but it had names. It said here, species 11, species 16. and then the number. This is a vector, but vectors sometimes have names, and this is okay. And if you make a sum, it will only sum the elements, and it will just not use the names of the vector. For the second one, I want you to think about what is the final object that you want. If you want the richness in each plot, you want something similar to this. In each site, I will just use plot. You want something that looks like a vector, and it has a number of species per site. Named or not, you want a final, like a vector of numbers that tells you how many species there are. Yes. Excuse me, I am using plot because all my sites are plots, but I will just change this. It's sites. And because plot sounds like plotting things? No, this is me. No. Like plots as in you go to the field, you go to the forest, and you trace a plot, and you measure things. So it's a site, okay, not a plot. I will change this. I will go. Plot. Next. I will just redo the slides because it is not. So just let me know when you are around the 2 or the 3. Just let me know, and so we have a talk together. I will be there right now. Eu sei, I'm going. Obrigada. I will just push this. So here.
Então, eu pensei primeiro. Eu pensei primeiro em fazer a mesma coisa que o outro, só que mudando, eu tenho que explicar por coluna, aplicando por linha. Só que aí o resultado que dá aqui, acredito que não seja exatamente a abundância por sítio, sim a quantidade máxima, a quantidade de espécies que tem no sítio, porque assim, eu posso pegar aqui, por exemplo, aqui tem 2 da espécie 1 nesse sítio 1. Então ele vai estar contando os 2, né? Não vai estar contando um só.
Mas deveria contar um só, exato.
Deveria? Não, mas eu estou fazendo então. Aí, para fazer isso, como é que você é uma maneira mais simples de fazer? Porque eu estou tentando fazer. Eu não tenho a função que vai fazer, vai dizer se é 0 ou se não é, e vai aplicar. Então, se não for 0, ele vai contar como true e eu somo tudo.
Tá. Mas ele vai somar, tem que checar se está somando por coluna ou se vai somar tudo.
Não, por linha.
Tá.
Por
É isso. If you have solutions that you like, please put them in the notepad. We want to see your code. We want to see everybody's code. We want to see the differences. We want to see how other people solve things, and we want to understand this way of reasoning. So this is why I'm putting the notepad. I will just be checking. In addition to your introduction, that I am also very interested in.
How do you access this notepad?
Oh, it's a link. It's a link. How can I send you a link right now if it's not via Slack? I will send it via Slack. Is everybody more or less on the same page? So you're going to see my Slack. don't have your Slack here. Can anyone send the link to the notepad to Slack so everybody has the link? I am sorry, I have no Slack here. I only have Slack. Because we were removed from the Slack. I don't know if you saw that. We were just like expelled because Slack changed. But please, does anyone have Slack right now? Can you put the link to? Excuse me? Yes, the link. Or you can access via the website because in the slides we have the link for the notebook. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you. I have only here. Oi. Porque ele não pode avaliar isto. Ele não pode avaliar isto. Ele não pode devolver se ou não. Mas você poderia fazer isto via um IFES, por exemplo.
Entendi. Se eu pagar essa questão, eu botei IFES, eu boto a condição, true, vírgula, false, e vai
Can, assim, em tese simples, assim. I want somebody to tell me which is the pseudocode for richness. What is the step that needs to be done to the matrix?
You need to convert the abundance numbers to 0 or 1, presence and absence.
Exactly. I think everybody is in the same place. You have to transform the abundance matrix into zeros and ones, because right now it has abundances. So you have to transform it into presence. Does anyone have a solution to do this? Can you tell us, like, or yes?
The first thing is to remove the first column for the main data frame. And then I have changed it, just assigning the value 1 for all the values that are greater than 0. And then I use row sums in all the new data frame that I created.
That sounds great. Do you want to copy this in the notepad?
Oh,
yeah. Please. So, is anyone having lots of trouble with this kind of reasoning or with the data, or everybody's more or less good? If you have code that is different from the ones of your colleagues in the notepad, let's see. But for now, excuse me. Plot the site, eso soy yo hablando mal. Plot es cada site. Sí.
¿Y a qué se refiere con cada site?
Cada site es cada lugar de muestreo, que es cada una de las líneas. Estamos en COM, ¿no?
Sí, estamos en COM. Sí. Es cada una de estas.
Entonces, cada site, cada línea. Every row in the data frame is one sampling site. Okay. So this is, you want to know how many species are there in each site. And
about the number of
species. No, the number of species, the richness, the species richness.
Okay, richness is the species per site.
Yes. Okay, perfect. Tudo bem? So, if somebody already finished the third and put everything in the notepad, I will just be here in the notepad. Okay, cool. How many species in each plot? It's me doing this. I was repeating titles. Can anyone give me the first numbers of the richness? Only the first 5, just for others to check that everything is good. So this is the most abundant species. Okay. And we have the richness per site. So site 1, site 2, and site 3, and I think that's okay. Just for others know. Which is the richness in site 1? The species richness. My handwriting is horrible, sorry about that. Excuse me?
Is it 5?
5?
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's what I got.
Okay.
Site 2, 3, and then the count.
Okay, 5, 4, 7. But why, you only have the second site? You lost the first site? Oh, okay. Okay, so you have 5, 4, 7? That seems correct. 54744. Sorry.
Eu converti pra essa. Eu tenho aqui só de true e false. Não, pera, tá ao contrário.
Você tem uma matriz que é basicamente binária, só que ela está em formato lógico.
Uhum. É, foi isso que eu fiz.
Aí você poderia somar ela?
Foi o que eu fiz. Eu somei,
E aí soma?
aí depois eu coloquei na ordem. Deu com o que tem mais. A maior mudança tem 15, 14.
Tá.
Não,
Tira da ordem para... Site, eu acho que é abrir site já fica. Você tirou o site? Tirou o site?
tirei.
Tirou.
Porque senão ficava. Né?
Você pode ver isso. Deixa eu...
São mais níveis. Eu vou.
So do you want to continue? Do you want me to show anything? Do you want? Okay. Ela tem que ser transformada para binário. Pois é. I'm coming. So for those of you who are already done with the tree first, can you raise the hand if you are in the third, just to check? Okay. If you are done with the tree first, you can go ahead with the diversity indexes. I will talk about them later. Déjame ver qué pasa ahí. Cuando haces comunidad de 257 superior a 0, quedas con una matriz true false. Quedas con una matriz true, solo ejecútalo para ver cuánto es, solo para ver si no estoy. Eso es, como sobre todo entre comi superior a 0. Eso, perfecto. El Rosen, sí, eso debería ser ya.
Aquí, pero entonces, o sea, no tengo que ordenarlo nada.
No, en este caso es lo que es allá. No estoy pidiendo que sean iguales y lo que no.
Y para el tercer ejercicio, lo que tengo que hacer es ahora sumarlo, pero por especie. O sea,
en realidad no sumarlo, necesitas saber cuál es el mayor.
¿Cuál es el mayor?
Es solamente detectar un máximo, básicamente.
Okay.
So for the third exercise, I don't know how you. I love that. Todo el mundo súper concentrado. Amén. Todo el mundo, yo hablando. La gente.
¿Sabes cómo hacer para decir que se vaya desde la columna 1 hasta el final?
Hasta el final, ¿cómo sabes cuántas columnas hay?
Es que nosotros ponemos siempre en Python 1 o 2.
I know that. So for the Pythonistas in the room, the way you know how many columns are there is encall. Encall. You call encall inside instead of the one. You say from 1 to encall of the data frame. We don't have this kind of trick, and R is 1 indexed. Imagine the anxiety going from R to Python and understanding this kind of -1. Why? No, but you have to call encalls. You have to call encall or enroll. Yeah.
We have Seren for the first side and 8 for the second side.
K-1, quitaron la primera columna, and it's the first margin, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's a sum. And how is your binary matrix? How do you create the binary one? Because this is not binary right now. It's 4 and 5. You have to transform it into.
So if I have a number greater than 0, I have to put 1?
Yes, exactly. That's the key part.
Okay.
So if you are having a vector that starts with 7, 8, 7, 9, you're summing abundances. I will just note here. 7, 8, 7. This is abundance data. And this is not what we want. So part of our pseudocode, the reasoning, is transforming to binary and then going to sum. Everything okay here?
To 1 or 0 in the table, but we had a problem because the sites are in numbers and then they become 1. And I was trying to change the numbers to characters, so they will not go to change. But I did this like as character, and then I changed the first column.
But you didn't create an object.
Oh.
This is printing your.
Yes, that's true.
You have to put.
I have to do this.
Exactly.
That's the moment when I love the Julia convention of always having an exclamation mark when the function will change the.
But it has this.
It has this.
No. When it will change, no. You have to create a new object or modify the current object. Exactly.
Mas ele não vai chamar de tabela zero, né?
Can I ask you? But I'm trying to set up here, like I know I need to send the column, but I don't know what I should put next. To
This looks a lot like Python code because you append things. And R is very vectorized. Actually, R works a lot with vectors. Sometimes you need to append. So what you're trying to do is, for one, in data, so the coordinates of data is a call. Here, data doesn't exist. You're using a call table. You would have to index the call. Even this is not very canonic R. But for creating a loop in R, you will have to only refer to index. So you would say for I, for example, in data, not data, but in 257, the range is the numeric range. You can say for I will put the I, put the I inside the 4, yes, E. But there you only put the numeric range. Because you are calling it here. You are calling here the number. So you only need the 2 to 57. So you delete this.
So you mean like
Exactly. No,
range?
no, two.
Like this?
That. Exactly. And
Really?
you take out, yes. 257, and you have to take out a bracket that is closed. Yeah. So if you execute 2267, it will give you a vector. And when you do this, it will just do that. But
Okay.
now you see it.
It's right.
Is it okay?
We did. We're almost done with the second.
Okay. So
Just to tell you, we got it wrong there. It's 5. It's like the numbers are wrong.
okay, we
Because I
can
was
correct
counting
it.
sites as well.
Ah, okay.
João told me his answer, and he's actually right. It's just a different number in.
But counting sites does not make any sense. Okay. Of course. Yeah, and since we're looking at the tail, we're summing down there. Yeah. So 2 things. 6. But also it has to be binary. You cannot sum abundances. So 2 steps. You take out the sites and you transform into binary. Yeah. Wait. Site 1, 2. So it's a 6, a 4. I will just do this. And just
6? Yeah.
Also, here is also.
I got 6 for the first side.
6 for 3,
Ah, yeah.
6, 6, 3.
Ah,
Yes,
yeah.
use that.
Okay. Okay.
6.
Yeah, 6.
So, hi.
What is the most abundant? This, but it only tells me what is the number of species of the most abundant. So it's telling for the first side,
It's the second one.
no, you have the most abundant species has 2.
Okay, so you need to check which.
We should check that these 2 were in which column is this 2. But it's only
This is where which is the function. Example, you would have to write an inference or something like that. That you make a mutate and you create an inference. If it's larger than 0, then 1, else. And you would have to make a mutate order because you're not creating a new column. You're saying like give me everything. If yes, you already selected not sites. This is the beauty of our 500 ways to.
I'm certain about what should I do because I was thinking just like on finding the highest value of each row. So that's not what everyone is
No,
doing.
that's the third.
Yeah, the third one.
it's not only the highest value, but how do you know which species is?
I need to make a
You would have to, so you already have the table, you need the variables, it's already there, and you need the function. You need to write quite a quick function that looks like this, yes. It could be, it's an if else, it could be if underline else. I haven't tried it yet. You can try to open this parenthesis and say like, complete with tab. I never know my tab.
I have a number.
Okay, fun. So dot fun. And then equal, and then you have to create the function right there. So it's like function and or like this is not exactly and it's like if else. I have no. I'm just like putting this out of my head. Like of course it's probably wrong, but maybe if else x superior to 0, 1, then or. But if else good, can I write something like this? You don't. If it's a one-line function, you don't need something like if else x equals 0, then 1, otherwise 0. And that's it. And you can do this and this with a you don't need the brackets if it's a one-liner, because it's a quick function. I am sure there are better ways to do this. If you already have the max, did it work? Yeah. So it's not that's not. I was sure it was going to be better. You have to create an object. But these.
I know, but I just see on first, but I'm gonna do it.
How are you? So some of you are already in the third exercise, and you are having. It's good for you to. You already know which are the maximum values, but maybe finding the index, the position of the maximum value is not exactly super easy.
With the which max.
With the which, yes, there are a couple of functions. They are called which and which max, but also you could do this with indexing.
You lost the names. When
Yeah, but I know like the orders of the names.
of the species there, you do. But then you don't get like this.
Yeah, that's true. But I just wanted to like get the index because it's the same.
Yeah.
But still, it's not working for me. That's weird. Like it always gives me the first one. Like I don't know, if I do this and I do this. It just always gives me okay, 39, 12, 12, and then the rest is all one.
Which might be true.
I don't know.
Here, for example, 1297, highest species is 31, which has 5. So yeah.
That's probably the main.
You can use it as a data frame.
The max fall?
Yeah.
Like you can't come.
Still.
It's still it's wrong.
And I use count2. And I called count2, like reading the data frame with another argument in the read CSV.
You are looking to change element by element. Sorry. Sorry. Element by element, which is weird because I work with vectors a lot. But even if this is not super canonical art, this should work. Why are you creating?
The sites.
You have
Oh, you want to take out the sites.
Size is the index.
Nope, still not.
That's all the ones you're seeing. It's the index per sites.
97 and 57. So I has to be on, it's the indexes that are wrong.
Yeah, open that. Minus 1, just put it 2.
But yes, are we?
Dos preguntas rápidas. O sea, ya tengo acá el final data frame, que es como el sitio y el número de especies, ¿cierto?
Sí.
Es el segundo.
Sí.
Pero entonces ahora intento ordenar, como, mira, pues lo hago acá, supone que es sort y el número, pues la columna que quiero ordenar. Quiero ordenar pues que tengan más del número de especies para que salga cuál es el otro.
Es posible que no sea por un menos. ¿Viste los argumentos de sort?
Pues acá, o sea, bueno, listo, no hay problema. O sea, eso es como para hacerlo de forma al revés.
Sí.
Listo, ya corrió. Pero entonces mira, cuando le doy sort, al final, mira, no sé, mira, 6.
¿Lo guardaste?
6.
¿Lo guardaste en un nuevo objeto?
Sí, ahí está, mira. Sort al final. Voy a borrar acá atrás.
A ver,
Listo, mira, sort al final. 6, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3. Ya que 6, 6, 6, 6.
estás.
Y no entiendo que es este 1.2.
Espérate un segundo. Site igual index. Es index.
Primera columna.
Species is igual a file. Entonces esto final ya. Sí, así. Sí, es organizando por nóminas.
Sí, o sea, siento que tiene más.
Final sort final species. Ahí en R tiene una diferenciación entre sort y rank.
Y rank.
De sort que está encontrando es increasingly y si te lo organiza, pero solo te está organizando los valores. ¿Sí ves?
Sí.
Entonces te ubica, lo que está haciendo es, además te lo está repitiendo, te está diciendo, te voy a poner aquí 222, posiblemente tiene la segunda línea repetida porque 222 es 222, por eso te lo está repitiendo. ¿Ves? No solamente no lo está organizando, sino que lo está haciendo. Sort te organiza los valores.
Okay.
En cambio, el amigo rank, estoy casi segura que es rank, hace 1000 años no lo uso. Si usas rank, sí te va a decir cuál es el index, no el valor, sino el index. Pero no sé por qué tiene solo. Bueno, de alguna manera quedó supernumérico con punto. El 53. Esta es la especie, esta es en teoría la
posición del otro.
¿El site 53 es el que tiene más especies?
No. No, porque queda en el 41. Es que es un error, digamos, por ejemplo, pues lo dice ordenar, ya.
No debería fletear. Pero no está entendiendo por qué te lo está convirtiendo. No sé si viene de...
Y es que yo busco pues, como ejemplos y los límites, no utilizan.
Sí. ¿Ves? ¿Sabes qué me parece curioso? Me he encontrado con pillas que de repente se te vuelvan floating, ya dejan de ser infinitas. No sé por qué Rank está haciendo eso, espérate.
Y es que yo busqué acá ejemplos, como ordenar. Pues por ejemplo, yo decía como no, pues si lo quieres ordenar.
Order no es rank.
Yo usé esa base.
Estás usando sort, que yo sabía, ¿te acuerdas que te dije que no sabía cuál era exactamente el
Order.
Eso debería.
Mira los sortes final.
Mira, clase.
Ahora
eso sí.
Perdona.
Y hay un link. No, yo no recordaba.
Es que cuando estamos mirando lo de los máximos, ¿lo único formas con un for?
No. There are. Hay which max. Okay. Busca which y which max.
Calculated for each site.
for each species.
Well, we have, can we speak in Spanish?
Ajá, o sea, aquí estoy integrando, estoy sacando la proporción que tiene cada una de las especies.
Sí, sí, en cada lugar.
Por eso, pero, o sea, aquí, por ejemplo, en el primer sitio, tiene la proporción de 0, para ver 0,4, ajá, pero entonces,
So, some, I will check the notepad. Does anyone have a pressing question, a comment? The diversity indexes, are you already calculating the diversity indexes? I didn't spoke. We are just, are you finding the which max, which is the maximum, which is the species that is most abundant in each plot? Okay. Do you want us to solve together the one with the most abundant species in the third? Everything is fine. Who is still struggling with the third one? That's okay, the way to find the maximum. Are you okay? You? With the third? Okay, I will just... Yeah, that's okay, that's okay. Okay, okay, just starting, perfect. One of the things that I have seen that that depending on the way you code is changing is that some of you go through the objects in an element by element basis. So for example, the position ij in the whole table, and you change it individually. If it's more than 0, you change it to 1. And R works very well with vectors. So this is more detail that it is needed, like a chalk. Some of you have been navigating the data frame on an I versus J indexing. So for example, you check if every element of the table is more or less 0, and then you change it to 1. But R works very well in vectors. If you ask the whole vector if it's larger than 0 or not, it will tell you. You don't need to navigate. And if you ask the whole table, it will also return a true-false matrix. I have seen that like most of you are doing the same, but in general, R works well with large objects. It vectorizes. And if you have trouble with the large objects, if some operation does not work in the large table, then you can go to the vector. Okay, you don't need to start with the individual element of the whole matrix. But this is a way of doing. So I could show you how I do it, but yeah, we can just. I just want to give you like a tip. Since for the third one you're looking for the whole site, maybe it's good for you to solve one column or one line at the time. So you isolate one of the sites and then you find the maximum. And when you do this, you apply it for the rest of the lines. You don't need to find, because we need one answer per line or per line in this case. So if you start your code by isolating one line and saying, tell me which is the maximum in this line, then you can apply. I will check the notebook. Mateus is putting code in the notepad, but he's home. Mateus is putting his code in the notepad. That's amazing. You should be able to solve the third one without using which or which max, but sorting and these kind of things.
That's the site, that's the another table to show this. No, it was just we just max call, and then we just had to consider from column 2 to 57.
How do you find max call?
We just put max and then show max call.
Okay, that happens.
And then we created another table. And then we created another table because of the position. So the position here is like the fifth position coincide with the fifth species. So
you don't need to take the name. Sometimes you have to pull the name. Like, give me the name of the fifth element of this tattoo.
Yes. But this is more difficult. I'm really proud of this.
That's cool.
Really?
That's cool.
No, this.
That's cool.
Look, this that we did here was so proud. Return to binary. I saw all because I it's numeric. One. Yeah, it's like mutate, change. I just mutate here. The number is numeric. Turn it to 1. Not 0. Yeah, not 0. I don't know why they have a 0. We just
When you pipe, it assumes that the point is the first element. But when you need the element that goes into the pipe to go in another place of the pipe, you say no, here. That's where you put the point. Because some of the tilivers are always expecting the first argument to be the input. So this is the dot is you saying no, the input, put it here. If this is different to 0, then multiply it per 1.
No, substitui.
If the number is not 0, I don't understand the chill. Like it looks
I
like
think
the
it's
case
turning to. I'm not sure. And
the value
yes.
will.
also, I thought it was like multiply, but it's not. Like if the number you take, the number is not 0, and then turn into 1.
Then probably we would put a comma here and say like two asterisk and then another condition like greater than.
This is one of the most difficult ways to do this, but that's
We did. We didn't know how to, so we Googled it.
Sometimes the most difficult way is it's nice to find, but also what I do in base is very, very manual. Like what I do sometimes is just you have com, and you say like everything in com that is superior to 0, assign a 1.
Oh. Much more.
You can.
You don't even have to talk about columns and lines. It's like everything here.
Oh,
because if you do this, it will return you a true-false matrix.
Yes.
You could also do the crazy thing of multiplying the comma, like if it's a 0, then multiply the number by 1. I don't know. Like there's something, but this is the easiest thing. Like everything that is. I always put this.
But I didn't know you could index a matrix with a condition.
Yes. So. Everything that is everything that is and you can assign on the table. Like assign right now. It will modify.
So you use the variable that stands for the element or that.
That's for the whole matrix.
So always when you use a inequality, you evaluate element-wise. It's always treated element-wise.
If you're evaluating a matrix, it will return a true false matrix. If you evaluate the vector, it will return a true false vector. And then you use it to select.
Oh, that's fine.
But everything that is tricky. I hope you are having so much fun, but Shan diversity, are you good with it? You already have this, okay. So
I have a question because I don't know, the channel diversity should be por esse copo tem que ser por sítio?
Por sítio, claro.
Por sítio, né?
Sim, sim.
Assim, depois eu apliquei ela, coluna, os dados, depois eu somei as linhas, né, porque era linha ao sítio, tirando os lineares.
Mas você quer um vetor.
A gente quer um vetor.
Total. Você quer um vetor da velocidade. Você sabe qual
Por sítio.
Exato. So, this is sideways.
Seria esse número aqui, mas eu quero saber, tipo assim, esse aqui tem que estar sítio 1, sítio 2, sítio 3.
Não, não precisa, mas assim, você já tem as diversidades. Você já pode criar.
Yeah, like create another column in the data frame that I have.
If you are unhappy with the vectors that you are getting because they are only numeric and you don't have names, remember that you can create data frames. You can say, data frame, my site is going to be site 1 to tata, and then the variable has a name, and then you put the variable. Okay. We are just like...
naturalmente.
Naturalmente.
Aqui, não, uma coisa que eu sempre tive dúvida é, em relação a, eu quero criar um nome, e assim, eu quero, tipo, SP, eu quero fazer, tipo, 1, 2, 3, mas sem precisar escrever cada um deles.
Com paste. (97) This should create site 1, site 2, 297. Então você pode fazer assim: names do vetor e paste isto. Ou não names, mas talvez data frame, a coluna site, é isto.
Entendi.
Tá?
Obrigado.
Mas um paste, assim, ele vai te juntar texto.
Beleza, obrigado.
I am just...
No entendemos el Shannon Diversity Index.
Okay. It's 1 p.m. Hi. I will press pause in everybody's work. Sorry. I am just going to interrupt you all. Everybody here, please. Just because we're done almost, so I am sorry I interrupt you all. But I don't know if some of you need the explanation of how Shannon Diversity Index should work, so you can continue at home, okay? Because I think the most abundant species per plot is okay for you to find. You should be able finding local maximum, like maximums per site and this. For those, especially for the like Shannon Diversity Index should work side by side. So the pseudocode is solving for one line of the data frame, solving for site 1. You have the vector of abundances, and we want at the end one value of diversity for the site. Okay? If you solve this one site only, this should work. What Shannon Diversity Index is doing here in this formula, P sub 1 is the relative abundance of every species. So you have here total abundances, and these total abundances you transform them into proportions. So this should be PI, and then you go ahead. But this calculation should be site-wise. And remember that Sarah told you about the apply functions. If you solve for one line, you can apply to the rest of the lines, okay? And at the end, you will have a vector of Shannon diversities and a vector of the Simpson diversities, okay? Next Tuesday, I will be more we are going back here, and we're going to talk a little bit about functional diversity and phylogenetic diversity. But I will check the notepad, and if you have any doubts, please put them in the notepad. I think it's a good way to communicate, and I am back to Slack starting today. So we can keep the conversation going. If you have any trouble, any doubt, please don't hesitate to ask. And thank you for yes. Do you have any comment, any trouble, any question? Anything? Do you want? I didn't give you the way I would do it, but I will check the notepad and we can solve this next week. Okay? Okay. Do some commits in your repos, even if they are, for now, they're not the fancy code. We save it and then you put it nice. Then you save nice objects.
process. Pues,
do commits in your repos. We want commits, even if they are not the most beautiful commits. We want to see them. I have to go. Aquí está, es una sumatoria. Sí. No, pero I understand.
Listo,
Sí,
pero...
sí.
Listo,
La
listo.
idea es sacar las proporciones para...
Sí.
Pero para cada lugar, perfecto.
Listo.
Ya.
Esta sí la que arreglar.
Gente, eu preciso ir embora porque tenho uma reunião a 1h15, mas às 4 estou aí. Tá tranquilo? Sim, beleza, a gente vai às 4.
Eu quero saber se você vai sair agora para almoçar ou não.
Vou ter uma ligação.
Tá bom.
A gente se encontra depois.